Have you ever actually stopped to think about how the internet makes its money? For decades, we've had this web that feels mostly free, right? We search for something, we click a link, and we read what we want. And in exchange, the publishers get paid by the advertisers we sort of just glance at along the way. But what happens to that whole ecosystem when we just stop clicking? Is artificial intelligence literally about to break the internet's core business model?
Welcome to today's Explainer. I am genuinely so excited to dig into this with you because this is an incredibly urgent topic. We're talking about a massive, fundamental shift happening right now, right on the tiny screens in our pockets. As AI becomes the brand new gateway to the web, it's totally rewriting the economics of the internet. Okay, let's jump straight into our roadmap. First up, we'll look at the zero-click internet. Then, the massive traffic collapse it's causing. Third, we'll explore how some massive heritage brands are somehow surviving. Fourth, the whole world of licensing content to AI. And finally, we'll wrap up with the terrifying paradox known as the AI death spiral.
Let's kick things off with part one, the zero-click internet. Basically, where did all the traffic go? Because to figure out where we're headed, we have to look at how our baseline behavior is shifting right under our feet.
Think back to 2022. According to Rand Fishkin, he's an author and entrepreneur who basically studies clickstream data for a living, mapping out exactly where our devices do and don't go online. Well, 2022 was the peak. It was the absolute high-water mark for internet traffic being sent out from search and social media. And over the last few years since that peak, those numbers haven't just dipped. Actually, scratch that. They're straight up plummeting.
Let's put this into perspective with some actual numbers. Look at this drop. Back in 2011, Google was sending north of 70% of all searches out to third-party websites. It was the ultimate referral engine, basically acting like the world's biggest digital traffic cop, sending visitors out to independent publishers. But today, that number is sitting in the mid-40s and it just keeps falling. Google is now keeping a huge chunk of that traffic entirely for themselves.
Which brings us to a super important definition, the zero-click search. What is it? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a search result that just answers your question directly on the search page, with no need for further clicks. Think about it. You search for a game score, and boom, it's right there at the top. You don't have to click a link, you don't scroll past ads. For you and me as users, honestly, it's amazing. It's so efficient. But if you're a publisher who desperately relies on that click to bring a visitor to your site so you can sell ads, well, this trend is a complete nightmare. It completely destroys the underlying math of your business.
And that leads us perfectly into part two, the traffic collapse. Because this isn't just some fun theoretical debate for tech geeks, this is an existential threat causing serious real-world panic right now.
To really grasp the sheer scale of this, let's talk about People Inc. They are the biggest print and online publisher in America, reaching like 175 million people a month. They own heritage brands like People, Better Homes and Gardens, you name it. Well, their CEO, Neil Vogel, dropped this incredibly shocking stat. Back in 2022, a whopping 75% of their internet audience came from Google search. Today, that number has tanked to just 25%. I mean, that is a jaw-dropping evaporation of a massive company's primary audience funnel.
But here's the thing. It's not just the massive corporations feeling the squeeze here. Caitlin Petrie, a professor at Rutgers who studies algorithms and media, is sounding a massive alarm. She points out that local news sites that absolutely relied on Google referrals to survive and convert casual readers into actual paying subscribers, are seeing dramatic drops in traffic. We already lost so much local journalism when print moved to digital. Now, experts like Professor Petrie are terrified this AI shift is going to wipe out even more of these essential local newsrooms.
So how does anyone survive this? That brings us to part three, how big brands are adapting through the pivot to diversification.
You can see the shift clearly when you compare the old way of doing things to the new way. The traditional internet playbook used to be ridiculously simple. Get subscribers, sell ads, done. But when AI starts swallowing your search traffic, that old model is unbelievably vulnerable. The new playbook? It requires a total 180. Publishers have to stop relying on just one traffic source. It's all about aggressive brand distribution and multi-channel diversification.
Let's go back to Neil Vogel at People Inc. for a second. Even after losing 2/3 of his Google traffic, he says the business is actually booming. They've had 10 straight quarters of growth on Wall Street. How? By leaning into what they already own, their brands. Starting in 2022, they pushed incredibly hard into TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, massive email newsletters, and even product licensing. Their total audience size across all those channels is huge now. They figured out that if you have a recognizable brand that people actually care about, it's highly valuable, maybe even more valuable in an AI-driven era.
Moving to part 4, licensing content to AI, or as I like to call it, if you can't beat them, charge them.
Let's define exactly what content licensing means here. It's a new revenue stream where publishers literally charge AI companies a fee to legally access their original content so the AI can train its large language models. Back in late 2022, Vogel actually met with Sam Altman at OpenAI right before they launched their first commercial model. Vogel saw the writing on the wall. To force their way to the negotiating table, People Inc. partnered with Cloudflare and literally blocked unpaid AI crawlers from accessing their sites. The message was clear. If your AI wants to read our stuff to get smarter, you're going to have to pay for it.
And the crazy part is, the AI companies are paying. Why? Vogel breaks it down perfectly. AI basically needs 3 things to survive. Number 1, massive amounts of computing power. Number 2, the model, the actual algorithms. And number 3, inputs. And right there, that's where the leverage is. Publishers are the inputs. Everyone pretty much agrees the old internet has already been scraped and absorbed. To stay smart, AI needs fresh data every single day. Whether it's a new recipe or pop culture news, publishers are the ones creating those high-quality daily inputs that AI desperately needs.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, the AI death spiral. And this is the giant paradox threatening the future of the web.
We are currently watching this incredibly stark juxtaposition play out. On one side, the large brands are thriving. They're striking massive licensing deals, and internally they're using AI to make 50% more content for roughly the same cost. For guys like Vogel, AI money is just another revenue stream. But on the exact same internet, smaller publishers are facing disaster. Professor Petrie's warnings are playing out in real time, with shuttered local news outlets and lost journalism jobs. Small creators simply don't have the leverage or the massive archives needed to negotiate multi-million-dollar deals with tech giants.
And this extreme imbalance triggers what Rand Fishkin calls the death spiral. Let's walk through how this plays out. Search traffic dies, so smaller creators go out of business. Because they fold, AI tools suddenly hit a wall. They run out of fresh content to train on. To fix this, AI companies might literally have to build their own internal publishing departments. Imagine them paying creators directly, kind of like a TikTok creator fund, but based entirely on how valuable the content is for the AI's training data. The end result? We get an internet that is built not just for AI tools, but exclusively by AI tools.
Which leaves us with this final, genuinely provocative question to ponder. The whole magic of the internet has always been this rich, independent production of diverse content. But if the underlying math is broken, and most independent creators simply can't get paid for their work anymore, what exactly are these powerful AI engines going to train on tomorrow? Are they going to be forced to eat their own digitally generated tails, or will we see a totally new system emerge to reward human creativity? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.